Hi, I'm here with Sam Arons, who's Director of Sustainability at Lyft. And I'm really excited to speak to him today because Lyft has very recently made a very big commitment to go fully electric and to join the EV100 initiative. And I'm going to start the conversation by asking Sam to tell us a little bit more about that commitment and why you have made it.
Well, Sandra, it's great to be with you today, and is very exciting. Now, we all know, of course, that climate change is an urgent crisis that we all collectively need to do a lot more about, a lot more quickly if we're going to tackle this challenge. And in fact, transportation has emerged as now the largest source of climate-altering emissions in the US. It's the second largest source in Canada. So this is a pretty serious piece of the puzzle here. If we're going to solve climate, we've got to solve transportation emissions. And so that's why back in June, Lyft announced a new commitment to reach 100% electric vehicles on our platform by 2030, and that we would join EV100. And this is very exciting because this was the first commitment by a ride-sharing company to this bold goal. And we believe that by stepping up and really raising the bar on ourselves, we can not only achieve a good climate outcome for ourselves, we can inspire others to follow suit, and importantly, we can help drivers on the platform make more money because driving an electric vehicle actually will be cheaper than driving a gasoline vehicle.
Thanks, that's really exciting. And we should also highlight this is the largest commitment I think a company has made to EV100 so far. It's almost 2 million vehicles. That's very, very exciting. Obviously, this year has generally been one that's been very different and more difficult than any of us expected at the beginning of the year. So how has the COVID crisis influenced you? And what were the challenges in setting up a commitment like this? And why did you go ahead anyways?
This really has been a tough year for all of us and many businesses around the world. We're seeing unprecedented challenges in the economy and with public health. But of course, climate change is still there. It's the mega crisis that's looming, above all else. And we realized that there was this is a unique moment in time where we all collectively have to be rebuilding our businesses, our economy, our society around this new crisis and the climate crisis. And so really we sort of thought, well, hey, we have known that climate change is important. We've known that we need to do as much as we can. Now we have the chance to build back better from the COVID crisis to emerge as a stronger, more resilient, more environmentally friendly company. And so that is why this was the right moment for us to make this commitment and make this announcement and join EV100.
That's great to hear. And it's also something that fortunately we're hearing from quite a lot of companies in our network. The Climate Group has done a little survey a while ago amongst the businesses that are involved in our initiatives. And 97% of all respondents said that climate is just as important as ever on their agendas. So that's obviously quite exciting and very positive news. We're now at Climate Week, which is traditionally a moment for us to bring some of that community together. So Sam, can I ask you, what does Climate Week mean to you? Why is it important for you as a calendar point in the agenda?
Well, Climate Week is the premier climate event of the year. We're very excited to participate. This is I think we've participated for a couple of years now. And particularly this year, while the COVID crisis is happening, COP26 has been postponed. So this really is the focal point of the climate conversation for 2020. And it's an opportunity for the community to come together and continue the momentum, keep climate top of mind. We need to solve all of these crises together. They're all interrelated. And this is our time to be able to share what we're doing and to help to inspire others to follow suit and join with us and go forward together to solve transportation electrification.
And of course, you're a member of the RE100 initiative as well. So can you talk a little bit about how you work with other companies to achieve the milestones that you want to achieve, and what is the value in working together in a community of leaders?
Well, no one company can solve climate on their own. No one country can solve climate on their own. We all have to work together to do this. And in our case, in terms of electrifying transportation or helping the transportation system electrify, I should say, we will need to partner with others, both governmental actors, right? There are, electric vehicle incentive programs, for example, that need to be made available to all drivers and all commercial entities, such as those who have joined EV100, who would like to electrify. We need to work with other private companies, for example, charging providers, right? Because you can't have EVs if you don't have enough chargers. And automakers. We need much more choice in terms of the number of electric vehicle options available. We need even higher battery ranges, for example, and we need costs to continue to come down, most importantly. And then, of course, there are nonprofits like the Climate Group and many others who are continuing the conversation, continuing to push and help to bring together all the other stakeholders so that we can have a constructive dialogue and find those overlapping ways that we can work together to solve this problem. So by joining EV100, we're joining a very important group and an important effort that is going to share best practices, share learnings, create opportunities for collaboration and innovation so that we can together go forward and solve this challenge.
Yeah, and of course, we hope that many others will join us. So do you have a final message for any companies that might want to come on board with us as well?
Yes, I would say it might seem a little scary, but it's not as hard as you think. And, you know, we decided to be bold, and it wasn't easy. We had to have some internal conversations to say, should we really do this? Is this really the time to make this commitment? Can we do this? And we did some hard thinking, and we had some tough conversations, and we emerged by saying, you know what, this actually makes sense for our business. And of course, it makes sense for the environment. And we're, being environmentally responsible is something that's very core to Lyft's identity. And what we found is that, when we look out ahead, coming back from the COVID crisis, when we look to where the world is headed and where the world needs to go, we absolutely must solve climate, and the only way to do it is if the business world comes along. So it makes business sense for us. It makes business sense for our drivers, right? Because they're going to be actually saving money and effectively making more money in that way by adopting electric vehicles. So this is a win-win. It's a win for the environment. It's a win for the business. And we think that when other companies can kind of hear what we're doing and see what we found, that will inspire them to do the same thinking and come, we hope, to the same realization that we can all join forces and actually emerge from this much better off, both from a business sense and from an environmental sense.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sandra.